Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we are continuing our series about our virtual summit, which is otherwise known as the Get Published Virtual Summit. And the first thing we're going to do is recap day 3. So we started with the Lenka Rukoska, talking about how to become a USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestselling author. We discussed book promotion strategies and effective ways to get reviews quickly. We had Ray Brem on the summit, talking about how to become an Amazon bestselling author. And Ray also covered how he created an author collaboration book called Author Inc., which I had the pleasure to be in, and how it helped build his business and created relationships with influencers. Rob Cubbin talked about making passive income from a YouTube channel. And also, Rob lives the life. He has a beautiful home in Thailand where he can essentially work from anywhere in the world, and a lot of things that he does with his passive income through utilizing his YouTube channel. Adam Hoagie talks about how to become a prolific author. In his session, which was truly impressive, is the fact that Adam has authored over 100 books himself, and he discussed the writing, publishing, and marketing process that has been the key to his success. And then Alinka, we had a bonus interview with her talking about growing your author business during COVID-19. And again, that main word we've been talking about all week on the podcast and also with the summit, that is the P word, to pivot. The things that you can do to pivot yourself now, especially if you are looking to create an online business, and in particular, your author business. Now, going into day 4 to today's sessions, our first speaker, Ashley Emma, talks about how to build your author platform with BookFunnel. And what Ashley does, and this is a little different compared to most of our interviews, we actually did a training during our talk where she covered the process and how you can create an account easily and grow your list immediately through utilizing BookFunnel. This is something that Ashley has used for a while now, and she has achieved a lot of success with it, in particular with building her list. Speaking of lists, we have Eric Vanderhoop talking about email list building 101, because one of the first things you need to focus on as you are starting this author journey is you need to start thinking about strategies to build your list. This is the first thing that I did 5 years ago. When I finished Eat Less and Move More, I immediately then wrote Motivation 101. And when I wrote Motivation 101, what I decided to do was actually give it away. And what I did was I gave it away in the Eat Less and Move More book. And then what happened was once the Motivation 101 book was released, then we actually switched it out and offered the audiobook version for free in that. But it was the first thing that we did to build our list. In addition to doing that and also getting email addresses at speaker events, where we also gave away digital version of the Motivation 101 book. That was the first thing that we did. And one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you right now is the first thing you need to do is start to focus in on building your email list. Now, how big does your email list need to be? There are people out there that have 5,000, 10,000, even 100,000. I would tell you my list is a little bit over 5,000 currently. And I could actually have kept every email subscriber over the past 5 years and claim to have a 15,000 person list. I've chosen not to do that. My philosophy with email is not only to build your list, but in addition to that, also to prune that list. So if there's people on the list that are not engaging, that are not reading your emails, then there's no point in keeping them on. With CRMs, programs like MailChimp and other ones that are out there, you can typically get your first 2,000 subscribers for free, but then after that, there are charges. So I will tell you right now, as you build your list, and I'm talking about after you build it over a couple years, the list does grow larger. One of the things that I'm a big fan of is pruning that list to make sure you have a highly engaged group of people that are going to value your information and to make sure it's the fit for the people that you want to be connecting with. So Eric in Email List Building 101 covers that importance of list building, which we pretty much went into a deep dive on, to build your audience, and most importantly, the best strategies to build your list quickly through several different proven methods, through author swaps, through taking part in summits. There's a lot of different strategies that you can utilize, but one of the first things you must think about as you start this journey is building your list. Daniel Hall talks about selling multiple training programs on the back end. And Daniel is an amazing guy. I loved his strategies. So he covers how to sell multiple training products on the back end of your book. He also talks about how to successfully market your training programs. And here's the coolest part. And this is how he has spoken. He shares how he has spoken on multiple cruises for free thanks to his books. Now, he started that process many years ago, but it's an amazing strategy, and I think he'll get a lot of great value into that, and especially in the future when we can actually do a little traveling again, because I know there's a lot of people out there that like to go on cruises, and this is a great strategy that you can potentially implement to be able to speak for free on these cruises and to also have the opportunity to build your business. Then we had Anita on the show. She was talking about participating in multi-author book collaborations. And she talks about the process, how it can result in many business opportunities. It's actually one of the ways how I connected with Anita initially. And she also covers one of the questions that she asks in her books is she wants to know what would happen if you were to start from scratch. So very simple. You're starting your author journey, right? No lists, no products, and nobody knew who you were. So the question she asks is, what would you do in the next 90 days to grow as quickly as possible, and how to make money by selling your knowledge? So it's a great interview. Highly recommend that you check it out. And then our bonus interview talking about growing your author business during COVID-19, Kat Wanders. She is actually the head of Wandering Words Media. She is an editor and just an amazing editor. She has a full team and really does great work for her clients. And then another thing that I really like that we talked about in this conversation, of course, we're talking about pivoting, we're talking about our businesses and how to utilize it. But one of the things I found in this conversation in particular was she talked about you have a choice in regards to editing your book. You can either self-edit it, and she covers some different strategies, or how to find an editor at a fair price. So it's a really interesting conversation. In particular, if you are looking for editors right now, this is a conversation that I highly recommend that you check out. So if you guys want your free ticket, just go to thegetpublishedsummit.com. Again, thegetpublishedsummit.com. You can get a free ticket for day 4, which means you can actually access these interviews for 24 hours after the interviews go live. Typically, they go live around 8 a.m. Central Time. So you have 24 hours from that point. And then that'll also give you your ticket for day 5, where we will be wrapping up this summit. So little information on day 3 to recap that, talk a little bit about day 4. But there's some great talks in here. I highly recommend that you check it out. I've also received a lot of great feedback in regards to the author challenge. So give it a shot. Very simple. You create 10 talking points for your book, and then each day just tackle one of those talking points. Think about that one specific talking point, and then bullet down typically 3 to 4 things that you would like to cover, and just start talking. And I know I'm making that, again, sound overly simplistic, but it really is. It's just getting started. Use the voice memo app on your phone. Press the button, record the information, get it done, and then upload it to otter.ai, OTTER.ai. You get 600 free minutes per month on there with their free plan. So check it out and see what happens, because I think once you actually give this a shot, you speak out that first talking point, that first chapter, and then you upload it to otter.ai, and then typically 5 to 10 minutes later, you get an email, and you can actually see everything that you just spoke out you can actually see it on the computer in a Microsoft Word file. And I tell you, if you try that process, I feel that you're going to find this life-changing, because it really just shows that this process for getting your book done is truly excuse-proof. So guys, I thank you once again for listening to the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead. Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.